Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're all doing amazing. Hope you're all having just an awesome day. Now today, I got a story time for you all about a time that I got stranded on an island. Now you might be like, Shaun, how did you get stranded on an island? And the truth is, it was just one dumb decision after another. I know, I can be pretty stupid sometimes. Now let's not waste any more time and just jump right into the story. Alright, so I was at my cottage for a few days recently, and I spent a lot of time with my sister and my cousins as usual. In the last video, I told about the cottage. I referred to my cousins as Ava and Ella, so I guess that's what I'm going to call them in this video as well. Well, I guess Ava doesn't really matter to the story, but Ella does a lot, actually. Anyway, speaking of which, I guess you could kind of call this a sequel to that video. While it's not, like, a continuation of it, it still features, like, the same people and stuff, so, I mean, like, yeah, it's kind of a sequel. Anyway, so for the first couple of days of the trip, we were just having lots of fun doing things like tubing and water skiing. Both are really fun activities to do, tubing in particular. It's just so fun trying to stay on the tube with the huge waves and everything. The best part is easily when the boat like goes in circles and the waves join up and you like bounce on top of the waves. It's just fun stuff. Some point later in the day, me, my sister, and Ella decided to go for a boat trip. We wanted to explore a couple uninhabited islands on the lake. For context, both of our cottages were on the biggest island on the lake, which obviously had buildings like cottages and cabins all over it. But we wanted to explore some islands that no one had cottages on that were uninhabited, because we just wanted to have a little bit of fun. So we're about to go on a ride, and my uncle tells us he wants us to deliver some wood to the other cottage next to mine. Since we were going to the other island anyways, we figured we'd make a quick pit stop over there to drop off the wood. Me, my sister, and my cousin then hopped in my uncle's boat. My cousin started it, and we headed right over to the other cottage. It didn't take us long to get to the other cottage, which actually belonged to some other relatives of ours. It's actually kind of cool that my cottage and both the ones next to it on either side are all owned by my family. Anyway, so we docked in and dropped off the wood. My relatives said thanks, then they went back up to their cottage. So Ella tried to start up the boat again. But tried is the key word because they would just not start. Like at all. No matter how many times my cousin tried to start the boat, which was like at least 10 or 20 times, it just would not work. My sister and I tried as well, but to no luck. Like, it just would not start, and it was super frustrating. Luckily, my relatives noticed we were having trouble and came down to help us, which was pretty nice of them. They ended up getting it to work, which was really satisfying. We couldn't get it to work for like 30 times or something, so the fact that they got it to work rather quickly, it was annoying that we couldn't do it, but it was satisfying that it was actually working. We all wanted to explore those islands, and now we could actually get there. We should have realized at this point, hey, the motor might not work again. Maybe it's not a good idea to go on this uninhabited island without a backup plan. But let's just say we were stupid and we didn't exactly think this through too well. So Ella's driving the boat, right? And we eventually get to one of the other islands. We circle for a bit, trying to figure out a good spot to park the boat. As unlike our island, this was uninhabited, meaning there were not any docks for boats. We eventually found a good spot where we could tie the boat without the motor getting shredded by the rocks. So after we park and tie the boat, me, my sister, and Ella get off and start exploring the island, because that's what we came here for. Alright, so the island's a pretty decent size. It's big, but not too big. And we noticed quite a few interesting things. There was a nice little flat area on the island, and the first thing that we thought is that, hey, this might be a good place to put up a tent and go camping. Now, since we're all adventurous teenagers, we immediately want to spend the night here. However, before we decide if it's actually a good spot to camp, we need to explore the rest of the island? We also end up finding a fire pit, which initially my sister and cousin are happy about, but I reminds them that despite the facts that I know how to make fire with flint, we're not doing it on this island, as A, we have no need for it, and B, something can end up going really wrong, and there aren't any adults around to potentially get things under control. I really hated having to be that person, but I was just spitting facts. I did not want to be responsible for the island lighting on fire. I also reminded them that we don't even know if we're camping here yet. We ended up coming across an outhouse as well, and it was alright, despite the fact that it was pretty disgusting, and we ended up also finding what looks to be a pretty decent swimming area. Alright, I'm gonna pause the video for just a moment here. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and leave a comment below saying you subscribed. I'll try my best to respond to as many comments as possible. But yeah, let's get back to the story. We agree that this is a great area, so we decide to head back to the boat, so we can end up asking the parents if we can camp there. But when Ella tries to start it up, you guessed it wouldn't start again. I don't know why we didn't think this would potentially happen. It already happened to us once. Luckily, last time we had people around to help us. This time, no one. Just us. Me and my sister tried to get it started as well. We tried like 20, 30 times, maybe even 40, but it would not start. So we were starting to get really frustrated. Now might be a good time to mention that none of us brought our phones. The reason we didn't bring them is that they were either charging or we just didn't want them to fall in the water since, we were on a boat. So that meant we had no contact with our parents. We were basically stranded at this point. Now take basically out of that. We were actually stranded on an island. Despite the facts that we were literally stranded on an island, the three of us were not panicking too much, nor even stressed. We came up with a plan pretty quickly, and it was to just relax here until we were rescued. Simple enough plan. We knew either my parents or Ella's parents would come looking for us eventually, so we decided to go swimming in that little swimming area I mentioned earlier, so that way, if anyone came by in a boat, it would be pretty easy to spot us. So we're in the swimming area for a while, I'd say maybe 20 to 30 minutes, and we finally see a boat in the distance, and Ella immediately recognizes it as her dad's boat, and we start waving. My uncle pulls up close to us and asks where our boat is, and I tell him it's on the other side of the island and to meet us there. He says okay, and we start heading over to the other side of the island. I get there first, and I arrive maybe the same time as my uncle, and my sister and cousin arrive maybe 30 seconds after me. Before you say, hey, I thought you came in your uncle's boat. My uncle has two boats, so yeah, I just wanted to clear that up. So anyways, my uncle pops in the boat. We came in, and guess what? He starts the boat first try. And I mean, just how? The three of us all tried like 20 times each, and my uncle got it first try. How did he do that? We were all pretty pissed off about that because we just looked so stupid. And to prove how stupid we looked, when we ended up getting back to our island, my uncle bad-mouthed us to all the other parents. They couldn't start it, but I got it first try. Yeah, we know, and we feel really stupid now. Anyway, so after he started the boat for us, we both went back to the island, and that was that. I had to explain what happened to my parents, and they seemed to understand pretty well. They still thought we were stupid for not starting it, but at least they understood. Apparently, the reason my uncle got it first try and we couldn't is because my cousin forgot to turn on one setting on the boat, so that made us feel even stupider. We actually planned on going camping there the following night, but someone ended up beating us to the island. Luckily, we found another island that was even better, and we went camping there, and it was pretty fun. I really enjoyed it. Anyways, that's gonna do it for today's story time. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to share it with someone you also think is gonna enjoy it. If you have a story you think would be great for the channel, you think it would be an entertaining video, DM me on my Instagram. The link is in the description. On screen right now, it's a compilation of previous stories from this channel. It's an hour long. There's some entertaining videos, so I really recommend clicking on it. And yeah, I'll see you all next time.